Hello guys, welcome to Freeshiksha. In last video we discussed about the BITSAT pattern. Now we are going to talk about BITSAT preparation. So we are going to give you tips and tricks on how to prepare for BITSAT. This exam is there are around 2 lakh people or 1.5 to 2 lakh people set for this exam for 2000 seats, close to 2000 seats. There are 800 seats in Pilani campus, some close to 600 seats in Goa campus, and rest of the seats are there in Hyderabad campus. So most usually students prefer Pilani campus because it's an old campus. It was set up in 1960-64. So okay, so now we'll proceed towards the preparation. You must be thorough with all the NCERT questions. If you've done NCERT questions, your base will be strong and you will be able to. All the AIEEE papers must have been done and must have been analyzed very thoroughly. This is going to give you command over speed and the feel of objective questions. Put emphasis both on accuracy and speed. So it's going to be accuracy plus speed. So if you are good at that, if you attempt if you're able to attempt lots of questions in out of 150 questions, and if you do that with accuracy and speed, selection should happen. And do lots of objective type questions. So very important, guys. I mean, there's a book, Arihant BITSAT book. It provides you objective questions chapter wise. So chapter wise objective questions, if you do get to know the weaknesses in those chapters, so you can rectify those. Plus you can with that, if you're doing sample papers and AIEEE papers, so you get the feel of the sample papers, plus chapter wise you are able to remove your weaknesses. So do the sections which you can do quickly first. So generally, guys, chemistry is recommended to be attempted first, but this is not a hard and fast rule. It should be a personal choice. Sometimes physics is also attempted, but math should be avoided. I mean, math should not be attempted first because it takes more time. It's always better to attempt physics and chemistry. However, it has to be totally a personal choice. My personal choice was chemistry. Even in AIEEE paper was chemistry. But you should have your own choice. You should attempt sample papers, try different strategies, and then accordingly the strategy that works out, you should adopt that. And you must have a strategy in mind before going for the exam. You should not be random that okay, I'll decide what to do and just instinctively or I'll do something. It should not be like that. You should have a strategy in mind, and that strategy. Okay, so now this question, whether to attempt those 12 extra questions or not, this is a very tricky question, and this question creates confusion in lots of BITSAT aspirants, and in a similar confusion I was there. So well, it is a personal choice. Definitely it's a personal choice, but there can be a strategy on whether to attempt them or not, how to find out whether to attempt them or not. So what I suggest is you do sample papers, and in those sample papers do 150 questions or maybe 180 questions, whatever, and whatever questions you are not able to do, say 30 questions you are not able to do or 40 questions you are not able to do, keep them aside and do them by intuition. I mean, see, this is not a very foolproof method, very correct method to understand, but then you try to attempt those questions and then try to know whether in those questions which you were not able to attempt and you attempted them by intuition, whether you could improve your score, whether you could get more marks. Let's take an example. Say you were not able to attempt those 30 questions. So in those 30 questions you kept them aside and by intuition you solved them and marked some answers. So in those 30 questions, is your score coming out to be positive? Positive meaning, see, you get +3 and -1, so your score can either go minus or positive. And because you don't know those questions and you have to maximize your score, so attempting those questions, does that increase uh, your score, or does that reduces it? So in those 30 questions, you have kept those 30 questions aside and you have marked them randomly or maybe by intuition, whatever, and now you see that your score has improved. If your score improves time and again with different sample papers, with lots of sample papers, that means if you are attempting those extra questions by intuition or by fluke or whatever, your score is improving. Then you must go for attempting all the questions and take the bonus of 12 questions. But if you see that your score is going negative, every time you attempt you do more wrongs and lots of wrongs and very less correct, you have to keep in mind, if you do one correct you get +3, if you do one wrong you get -1. So +3 and -1, guys, you have to be careful. I mean, my strategy was I had attempted all the questions, but I don't know whether it's right or wrong. With my intuition, I could see that my score was improving by attempting all the questions. But it is different for different people. Some people might do more wrong than more correct. So, and one thing I have understood is that if you're doubtful about 2 choices, you must mark the answer, guys. Out of 4 choices, if you have doubt in 2 choices, you are sure that these 2 must be the answers. Out of these 2 there is an answer. You must mark it, guys, because the probability of you getting more is much more, because if you correct it you get +3, if you do not correct it you get -1. But you have to choose between 2 choices now, not 4. So I think you should attempt that. And but for attempting those 12 extra questions, one more thing, guys, those 12 extra questions are going to be difficult. They are not going to be easy. They are not going to be of similar difficulty level as all 150 questions, because I myself had attempted those 12 questions. So I am telling you that these questions are a little difficult and might also be lengthy. So these things you have to keep in mind. I don't know whether these 12 questions were difficult for me and might be easier for in other cases. I'm not sure, but I'm just sharing my own experience. So you have to be careful about it. I have told you what it is going to be like, so you have to make your own strategy. And how to make strategies, that is what I have told you. Do lots of sample papers and try to mark the other questions by intuition and see if your score is improving. So, and yeah, for safe selection in Pilani campus, one must aim for 300 marks. For Goa campus 280 and Hyderabad 260. Although the cutoff score in Pilani campus is going down, it's close to 260 something. Goa it is like 250 and Hyderabad it's 240. But for safe selection, you must aim for 300. Goa campus 280, Hyderabad 260. We will also talk about how to fill the preference list. You get a preference list once you have a score, and once you are eligible. Once you have cleared the cutoff, you get a preference list of the degrees you must fill. We will also talk about that. But for now, this is enough. This is related to the preparation. If you have any doubt, guys, do let me know, because I'm very much clear with the process. We are Bitsians. We can really help you out. We are like your senior colleagues. You can say that if you're aiming for bits-Pilani. So we'll definitely help you out. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. All the best.